The Witch of Golden Crown Academy. Before the city knew her as Madam Adesewa, the famous proprietress of Golden Crown Academy, she was simply Adesewa Ighodalo, a struggling woman renting a tiny shop in Obayomi Street. Her school then was nothing but 3 wooden desks, cracked floor tiles, and a faded blackboard. Parents weren't interested. Teachers mocked her behind her back. And every month, she cried while calculating rent she could not pay. One afternoon, after another parent rejected her school, Adesewa sat outside, holding her head. That was when someone touched her shoulder. Adesewa. She looked up. It was Tera, her childhood friend, a woman who once lived in the same poor community as her, but now looked like wealth itself. Her wrapper shimmered like freshly polished gold. She wore perfume that smelled of money. Her nails were long and painted wine red. Adesewa gasped. Tera. Since when did you start looking like this? Tera smiled slowly. Since the day I decided to stop suffering. They hugged, and Tera followed her into the tiny school. Inside, Tera looked around and sighed deeply. Adesewa, you are dying in silence. Tears rolled down Adesewa's face. I have tried everything, Tera. Flyers, adverts, church announcements, nothing is working. I'm tired. I'm tired of poverty. Tera leaned closer. There is a way. But it is not for the weak. Adesewa wiped her face. Tell me. Tera looked toward the door, making sure no one was there. Then she whispered. Success has a price. A yearly price. If you can pay it, you will rise. Adesewa frowned. Pay what price? Tera hesitated, then said slowly. A child. Just one child every year. Adesewa froze. Her heart dropped like a stone. Tera, what are you saying? Tera straightened up. You will have fame. Money. A massive school. Parents will fight to bring their children here. But you must give a child every year to them. Adesewa whispered, who is them? But Tera only wrote an address on a brown paper and handed it to her. Tonight, 11:30 p.m. If you come, your life will change. If you don't, remain here. She turned and walked out. And that was the beginning. That night, Adesewa couldn't sleep. Her mind kept returning to her cracked floors, her empty classrooms, her unpaid bills. Finally, at 11 p.m., she stood up, wore her shoes, and left her home. She repeated to herself. I would just go and hear them. Hearing is not a sin. But something in her heart already knew she had crossed the line. She reached Tera's address, a huge compound with a carved iron gate. 2 men guarded the entrance. Tera appeared from the shadows. You came, she said with a small smile. Inside the compound, they led Adesewa to a long corridor. At the end was a wooden room with strange symbols drawn in chalk. In the center of the room was a large black mirror. The mirror pulsed with a dull red glow, as if something inside it was breathing. A deep voice echoed from nowhere. Adesewa Ighodalo, do you desire success? Her lips trembled. Yes. Do you offer loyalty? Yes, she whispered. Then you will give us one child. Every year. During the last full moon of each school session. The mirror glowed brighter. We will choose the child. The mirror will show you the face. Adesewa's knees felt weak. But she nodded. She didn't know that the moment she said yes, something invisible wrapped around her destiny. Something dark. Something hungry. From that night onward, everything changed fast. Money came in ways she couldn't explain. Investors appeared. Parents praised the school. Results improved. Government recognition followed. Her school expanded from 3 desks to a massive complex with a music hall, science labs, ICT rooms, basketball courts, and a 4-story building. Her dressing changed too. Gone were her plain skirts. She now wore long flowing gowns, gold earrings, and diamond brooches. People admired her elegance. Nobody knew the sacrifices behind her beauty. Every year, during the last full moon, the mirror revealed a child's face. A child who would later fall sick mysteriously, then die within weeks. And every year, the school prospered even more. Competition after competition, Golden Crown won all. Sometimes fairly. Sometimes because Madam Adesewa bribed judges. Sometimes because she visited the Order's shrine the night before. Parents scrambled to register their children by any means. But to appear kind, Adesewa introduced yearly scholarships for 2 poor students. People called her generous. Only she knew those scholarships existed to cover up the happenings in the school. 4 years passed. 4 children died. And Golden Crown became the richest school in the region. During the 5th year, as usual, Adesewa stood before the mirror. The room was dark. Her hands trembled slightly, each sacrifice weighed on her conscience, but greed kept her going. "Reveal the chosen one," she whispered. The mirror trembled. Then a small face appeared, a gentle-eyed girl with braids and a bright smile. Her name written in glowing red letters. Amora Choku. Adesewa frowned. "She is new?" A deep voice whispered. "Yes. And she is special." The mirror went dark. Adesewa sighed heavily. "Amora, you are next." Amora had joined Golden Crown under a scholarship. She was brilliant, too brilliant. In fact, teachers admired how she always helped her classmates and never insulted anyone. Her mother, Mrs. Choku, was a prayerful woman. People called her pastor. Every morning, she prayed over her children. Every night, she prayed again. Her husband worked far away but always visited when on leave or during public holidays. One night, Mrs. Choku woke up sweating. She had a terrible dream. A woman dressed in a long red gown stood behind Amora, holding a strange mirror that dripped with shadow. She jumped from the bed and prayed until sunrise. In the morning, she held Amora's hands. "My daughter, listen to me. Be careful in school. Don't collect food or gifts from anybody. Anything someone gives you, bring it home. Do you hear me?" Amora nodded. "Yes, Mommy." And that instruction saved her life. Madam Adesewa wasted no time. She began treating Amora kindly, too kindly. She would stop her in the hallway. "Amora, my dear, how are you? You look beautiful today. Here, take this small gift." Amora always smiled politely and said, "Thank you, Ma," but she remembered her mother's warning. One afternoon, Adesewa pulled her gently aside. "Amora, you've been performing well. I am proud of you," she said warmly. She opened her drawer and brought out a packet of chocolate biscuits. "Take this. A reward for your hard work." Amora accepted it, but never ate it. She kept it carefully in her school bag. When she arrived home, she removed her books and placed the chocolate aside. Mrs. Choku was busy cooking and cleaning that evening, so she didn't check the snacks. She simply said, "Put your things in your cupboard. I will check them tomorrow." The next morning, which happened to be Saturday, while sweeping the room, Mrs. Choku noticed the chocolate packet on the table. She frowned. "This girl didn't tell me who gave her this." She picked the pack and opened it. She froze. Inside the packet was not chocolate. It was a small bundle of human hair, tied tightly with a tiny red cloth. Mrs. Choku dropped it immediately and began praying hard. "Blood of Jesus. Fire of God. Whoever planned evil for my daughter, let it return back to sender." She called Amora. "My daughter, who gave you this?" "The principal, Mommy." She said it was a gift. Mrs. Choku felt something cold travel down her back. She prayed over Amora that entire day, refusing to let her out of her sight. Weeks passed, and Amora remained perfectly fine. No sickness. No weakness. No strange pains. Nothing. Meanwhile, in the Order's shrine, the mirror glowed violently. A deep voice called. "Adesewa. There is a problem." She knelt quickly. "What is it? What have I done?" The child did not consume the offering. Adesewa's heart thumped hard. Then I will try another method. You cannot choose another child. The voice roared. The mirror has chosen. Amora must be given before the end of this moon cycle. If you fail, the agreement breaks. The things you see at night will become real. Your protection will end. Adesewa began shaking. And if I succeed, she whispered. The voice softened. Then your wealth will double. Your school will rise higher. And the spirits that trouble you will disappear. She swallowed. I will do it. I will handle it. But deep down, fear gripped her chest. That night, after closing the school, Adesewa walked into her office. She heard footsteps behind her. Slow. Dragging. She turned quickly. Nothing. She sat down. The footsteps started again, this time louder. She stood up, shaking. Who is there? Suddenly, she saw a shadow of a small child in the corner, one of the children she sacrificed in the past. The shadow whispered. You promised they would not take us, but you gave us away. Adesewa screamed. She ran out of the office. The next day, she saw another child's ghost in the hallway, staring at her with sad eyes. By the third night, she stopped sleeping. Everywhere she turned, the ghost followed. The other called her again. Your chance is running out. Sacrifice Amora, or they will destroy you. Desperate, Adesewa created a perfect plan. Golden Crown Academy would host a massive anniversary celebration. Parents, students, alumni, everyone would attend. There would be food, snacks, drinks. And she would slip something into the treats and gifts meant for Amora, as each gift was named after each student. A clean, quiet sacrifice. Nobody would suspect. On the morning of the event, she rehearsed her speech, trying to smile. But while standing on the stage, she noticed something terrifying. The ghosts of the 4 sacrificed children sat among the students. Their eyes were empty. Their skin pale. Only she could see them. She blinked hard, shaking her head, but they were still there. The other whispered in her mind. Finish it today. Or they will take you. The event started beautifully. Students danced. Parents cheered. Drums played loudly. Adesewa forced a smile, waiting for the perfect time. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The microphone screeched. Wind blew across the hall, although all doors were closed. Then, the ghosts stood up, slowly. One by one. They walked toward the stage. Adesewa staggered backward. No, not today, please. Parents stared at her in confusion. She began shaking violently. Please stop. Please stop following me. I did what you asked. People gasped. What is wrong with Madam Adesewa? She screamed again. I didn't want to give you away. But they said I must. It was a sacrifice. A yearly sacrifice. Parents shouted in shock. Sacrifice. What is she saying? She screamed louder. The mirror chose them. 4 children. 4. And this year? Amora. Yes. The mirror chose Amora. All eyes turned to Amora, who clung to her mother in fear. Adesewa tore her wig off, trembling uncontrollably. Her eyes rolled. Her voice cracked. I tried to give her. But she didn't eat it. And now they won't stop haunting me. They won't stop. She pointed to the hall. They are here. Can't you see them? They are here. Right there. Then she screamed one last time. And collapsed on the stage. Silence filled the hall. Teachers rushed to her, but she only muttered. Children, here, Mira, forgive me. Ambulance took her away, still shaking and mumbling confessions. News spread everywhere. Parents removed their children immediately. Police stormed the school. Investigators uncovered hidden rooms and strange symbols. Golden Crown Academy was shut down permanently. Madam Adesewa never recovered. She spent her remaining days talking to unseen children, crying, begging for forgiveness. Amora and her mother thanked God for protection. Her mother held her close and said, "Prayer is not a waste, my daughter. As long as there is light, darkness will always fail." And truly, the darkness failed.